Hi guys, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to ask effective questions during your job interview. Like, depending on what kind of interview you have, do you have an interview with an HR person, or do you have a second round interview with hiring managers, or do you have like a on-site third round final interview? But every interview ends with one question. That question is, do you have any questions for me? Why do recruiters or the managers ask you the same question? And if you answer it very lamely, if you answer, no, I'm good, I don't have any questions, then it's a problem. Why it's a problem? Because it shows that you are not interested or you have not done any research. So in this video, we are going to talk about what are the questions you can ask while your interview process is going on. And if they question you, do you have any questions for me? And this is 100% sure they are going to ask you this question. So you should be well prepared. And also, if you ask productive questions, then you will get some insights and you will be very productive and effective for your next interview, and you will be prepared that what kind of questions you can ask, and also it will be like a practice for you. So it's always necessary that you question them correctly, and also when you ask such effective questions, it will be very good for your career, and you will be able to make very right professional decision, which is very important when it comes to getting a first job or getting a job and diving into the professional life. So it's very important to ask productive and effective questions. So this is another video of the strategies of job and internship search which I have been making. So this is going to be very important video of what questions to ask. So make sure you watch this and let's find out what are the questions. The first thing is avoid asking self-centered questions. What do I mean by self-centered questions? Like, when you are asking a question, do not ask things which are related to yourself. When you are giving an interview, you are thinking as a team, you are thinking about teamwork. So when you ask questions related to yourself, like suppose for example you are asking like whether I would be able to do this, whether I will be able to stand out, whether I will be able to learn this softwares. It is kind of questions you might have, but it is not recommended at all to ask when you are not even selected for the position, because it shows that you are just about yourself and you want to see about your growth and not the company or team's growth. So it's very important that any project you work on, it's a teamwork, so you have to be considerate towards others also. How you will be helpful to others if you put down a question in such a way. Let's give an example. Now, example of a self-centered question is, will I be able to grow in the company? Will I be able to get some benefits out of your position which I'm applying for? That is self-centered question, and you should be avoiding. You should be asking such kind of question like how I will be helpful in company's growth, how I will be like jamming up with the team members so that we can be more productive toward team's goals. So there are some kind of questions which you should be very careful of, and never be self-centered and avoid self-centered questions. Second thing I would like to say is, do not talk about compensation right away when you are not selected for that job positions yet. Now, after you get selected, I understand that you will be worrying about your salary, your package, your compensation, but it is not a good idea to ask about your salary, negotiation, compensation in your first round of interview, because that shows that you are not focused on the position or the task which are given to you in that position. Rather, you are focused on how much money you will make. So it gives an impression to the recruiters and the hiring managers that you are only seeking this job role or a position for the money, and not for what are you going to learn or what are you going to gain experience during this job process or during this time frame when you'll be working with the team. So always try to avoid this compensation, salary, and negotiation things when it comes to the first, second, third round of interview, because after you get selected for that position, you have to sign an offer letter. So before signing that letter, you have an authority to ask for more money. Same case happened to me when I was interviewing. I did not tell them, but when I got a call, an offer letter, okay, this is your offer letter, and are you willing to work with us, blah blah blah. Then at that time I negotiated with them. I asked them stuff and they revised their offer letter if needed, and they made more offer or whatever the case it might be for you. So always avoid to ask compensation and all the money related questions before you get selected for that job position. And after you get selected, before signing your offer letter, you have authority and you should negotiate at that time, but not before getting selected and during your interview process. Another thing which you should be avoiding is to ask simple basic questions which you can find online by googling it, or you can find it on LinkedIn, Glassdoor, Indeed, anywhere. So this is a very important point. Like, you cannot ask question like, can you tell me more about this position? Well, it clearly describes that you did not read the job description properly. That is not the correct way to ask question. You cannot just go and ask like, what is the position about? What are the main important roles you will be facing? That's to my point, it's not a productive question, and you should never ask such questions. Rather, you should ask some questions which is not described in the job description, or which you cannot find anything online, like culture of the company or like the team members and etc. etc. We'll come in that into the next point, but I'm just saying that whatever information you cannot find it online or on the job description, that is the question you should ask. Please try to avoid basic questions about job description. Suppose they said that you will be working with team with this software. Now you can ask about the team members and how much experience they are about that software, but you cannot ask like, okay, give me some details about that XX software, how will it be helpful in it work? Well, if you're applying for this position, you should definitely know about that software and how it will be useful in that project. So it's very important to not ask silly basic questions. The fourth point is very important. Ask right question to right people. Now when it comes to tailoring things regarding your job search process, it's not only about tailoring your resume and cover letter. You have to tailor questions for specific people. Now what do I mean? Suppose you have 3 rounds of interview, correct? Now you should know what are the questions you should ask to a specific round of interview, because there will be different people asking you questions. First round of interview is generally from the hiring managers. The other round is from maybe your future colleagues if you're going to that company. The third round of interview might be from the hiring specialist or a recruiter, which will be doing your final process of the interview. So I have tailored some questions which I'm going to tell you right now. So if your first round of interview happens and it is with hiring managers, then you should ask questions about what is the culture of the company. Can you describe more about the culture? Then you can ask question like, I have seen in the job description that I will be working on so and so kind of projects with so and so team members, so can you elaborate more about the team members? Then you can ask about what will be the next step if you go to the second round or the third round, or if you are selected. Such kind of question are specifically for hiring managers. You cannot ask any project related question to the hiring manager, because that's not the correct person to ask. They will be thinking like, oh, he should have been knowing that we don't deal with such questions. Now moving to the second round of interview, and this is usually conducted by your future teammates or your colleagues, or who knows technical, and maybe the person whom are you going to work with. So with those team, you should ask questions like, what are the biggest challenges during your project when we are performing the work? You can ask that question, or you can ask that, what are the other projects which are lined up for next 6 months? Or the third question you can ask is, what are some of the competitive challenges that you face while doing certain type of project, or who are the most competitive when it comes to the company market? Like, are we competing with some other companies, or how the bidding process go, or etc etc. It depends on your specific branch or specific career, or what are you going to ask. But this is very important that you tailor your questions according to the person who is interviewing. Like the third round of interview, you can research about the human resource specialist or whosoever is doing your third round. You should go to their LinkedIn profile, see their all the background information, and you should specifically ask the question that, I saw that you have worked on so and so projects. Can you more describe about how was it and how the team helped you? Or if I was in that position, how would I be able to help you, and what were the challenges faced? So in that way, if you research about that person, that he will be assured that you are interested in that job role and you have done some research, because that is the only way you can make them feel confident, because they cannot know you, your whole personality, in like 10-15 minutes or half an hour interview. So it's very important that you present yourself and your questions in such a way that you will be able to have no confusion in their mind that you are not prepared for this job role. Okay guys, so that's it for this video. Always remember that interview process is a two-way communication or two-way process, in which the recruiters try to know about yourself and if you are better fit for them. And also it's very important that you discover that if you are willing to work there and if they are better fit for you. So it always goes in two ways, and always make sure and be prepared for the question that, do you have any questions for me, to see your career growth and have a better perspective career beginning that company. So it's very important to please be prepared for such kind of questions. So I'm also on Instagram, if you guys wants to follow me and get some advice over there too, because I keep on posting many things, and I hope you got some information, and I hope you are ready for the question which I described. And do you have any questions for me? If you do have, please comment below and let me know, and I will try to answer them and get back to you. And that's all, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.